After teaching his people what it means to live holy lives in community and compassion, Leviticus 20 turns to a solemn and sobering subject: the penalties for sin and idolatry. In this chapter, God shows that His holiness is not just an ideal, it is a reality that must be guarded. The laws of Leviticus 19 described how holiness looks. Leviticus 20 shows what happens when holiness is rejected. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Say to the Israelites, any Israelite or foreigner living among you who sacrifices any of his children to Moloch is to be put to death. The people of the community are to stone him." This was not mere legalism, it was moral protection. The worship of Moloch, a Canaanite idol, involved child sacrifice, one of the most horrifying practices of the ancient world. God made it clear that His people were never to mix their worship with cruelty or darkness. To harm the innocent in the name of worship was to profane His holy name. "I will set my face against that person," God said, "and cut him off from his people." This phrase, "set my face against," reveals divine opposition. God Himself stands against evil. His holiness is not indifferent to injustice, it confronts it directly. The chapter then warns against turning to mediums and spiritists, those who claim to communicate with the dead or unseen forces. God said, "Do not turn to mediums or seek out spiritists, for you will be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God." Communion with the dead was forbidden because God alone is the source of life, knowledge, and truth. His people were to seek His voice, not the whispers of darkness. Next came a list of sins that violated both morality and the sanctity of the family. Many of the same relationships forbidden in Leviticus 18, but now with the penalties attached. God listed sexual sins: adultery, incest, homosexuality, and bestiality, each treated as serious offenses against both God's holiness and human dignity. These were not arbitrary rules, but divine boundaries meant to protect love, purity, and order. God said, "If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, both the adulterer and the adulteress must be put to death. If a man lies with a man as one lies with a woman, both have done what is detestable. If a man has sexual relations with an animal, he and the animal are to be put to death." These laws, though severe, reveal God's view of sin, that moral corruption destroys families, dishonors creation, and defiles the land. The land of Canaan was being vomited out because of such abominations. God was warning Israel not to repeat the sins of the nations they were replacing. In verse 7, God offers a powerful summary. "Consecrate yourselves and be holy, because I am the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and follow them. I am the Lord who makes you holy." Holiness was not human achievement, it was divine grace. God was not calling Israel to moral perfection through effort, but to faithful obedience through relationship. He Himself was their sanctifier. The laws continued with further boundaries, forbidding occult practices, dishonor of parents, and immorality within family relationships. The purpose was clear: to build a society that reflected heaven's order on earth. Then God gave the reason for all these commands. "You must not live according to the customs of the nations I am driving out before you. I am the Lord your God who has set you apart from the nations." Israel's holiness was not about superiority but separation, not isolation but distinction. They were to be a light among the nations, not lost in the darkness of compromise. Even the dietary laws, clean and unclean animals, were part of this visible separation, physical symbols of a deeper truth. They belonged to a holy God. The chapter ends with these words: "You are to be holy to me because I, the Lord, am holy, and I have set you apart from the nations to be my own." What a declaration of love! The God who demands holiness also provides it. The God who warns against sin also redeems the sinner. Leviticus 20 reminds us that holiness is not optional. It is the natural fruit of belonging to God. Sin is serious not because it breaks rules, but because it breaks relationship. But through Christ, and the one who bore our penalty and fulfilled the law, we now live not under condemnation, but under grace. He was cut off for us so that we might be brought near. He bore our uncleanness so that we might be made holy. The holiness God required in Leviticus, Jesus now produces in us through His Spirit. Leviticus 20 shows that the fear of the Lord and the love of God walk hand in hand. To revere Him is to be protected by Him. To obey Him is to reflect His nature. Next comes Leviticus 21, where God turns His attention to the priests, calling them to live with special care and purity as those who serve continually in His presence.